Hello everyone, welcome to KerbalVision. Today we're going to be doing a pretty exciting mission, I think. We're going to be going to the mine in this mission, but that's not the focal point. The focal point of this mission is the mod we're using. As you can see, we have got a very much different looking command capsule, and a very much different looking fuel tank, and going throughout all the different parts that we add for our mun mission, Apollo style mun mission, you'll notice that most of the parts I'm using look really odd, at least for the newer players. For the older players, you will know very much so what I'm doing. I'm using the Old Parts Redux mod, and it adds a whole lot, like not all of them, but a whole lot of the old textured parts that originally in KSP, like for example, when they do texture upgrades to the parts and everything, just to make everything look better. But I don't find that they necessarily look better. I feel like they're new styles. So the reason I got this mod is because I feel like the older models, they're not like badly textured parts. They're more like a different style of parts, and I really like it because this style, at least which I'm going for here, it feels like more like you've done it in your garage kind of thing, using scrap metals and things to put everything together. It looks a bit rusty and dusty and just kind of dinted. The new ones feel a little bit more like cartoonish sci-fi kind of thing. But yeah, honestly, I just like the way the old parts looked. So I thought I should make a little video doing an old parts mod. So this isn't a mod review. Well, I mean, I guess it is kind of a mod review, but I haven't made it so it is an entire mod review. And yeah, also at the end of the video, we're also going to have actually a second rocket launch. You'll see what that is all about by the end of the video. And in case anyone's wondering, yes, this mod adds the horribly textured, horribly painted Mark III space plane part. I think it's Mark III. It's the space plane capsule at least. And yeah, I didn't realize how bad it looked until I actually got the mod. Boy, oh boy, it just looks shocking. Oh dear, it's just like the worst design part ever. Like, it doesn't even just fit with the oldest parts. And if you are wondering, this does actually start again. It adds the oldest parts ever added to KSP. Like, not all of them, but for example, like the I don't even know what to call it, but the two oldest engines, the oldest fuel tank, and the oldest command capsule. So I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, it's just a really nice mod. So yeah, like I said before, we're going to be doing a mun mission, nice and easy. And yeah, we're using as many of the old parts as we can. I'm trying to use all the old parts I can, but for the parts that there aren't old parts for, I'm just using, in this mod at least, I'm just using the newer ones. So yeah, so we're going to be using old fuel tank, of course. Now, unfortunately, they don't have all the different color variants that the old parts used to have. I don't know why that isn't, but I mean, I don't know why that is the case, but anyway. Yeah, so just making a normal mun mission rocket here, nothing too special. And also, you may notice, just to announce this, I am hopefully using blue by approaching I can't remember how you pronounce it. I'm absolutely the worst person at pronouncing things. I think it's Navinia. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I'm really bad at pronouncing things. Anyway, yeah, so it's that's the channel, and as far as I know, they make their music for channels like mine, or just general channels, like not to re-upload their music and me claiming it's mine, but just so that I can use it in my own videos as background music, which I think works really well. I know Matland does it, so hopefully I don't get any strikes. I'm imagining I'll probably get a claim, but no strikes, so I should be right. But here we are on the launch pad, and of course I'm using a lot of graphical mods. I mean, it probably would have been better to uninstall most of them, but anyway. So as you can see, they haven't added any sort of waterfall configs for the engines, and I'm actually quite happy they've done that, because if you're going to get this mod, like old parts, and you want waterfall for your other stock parts because this is like an add-on for KSP kind of mod. I don't really want to have to like when I make an old ship, I'm not too keen on wanting to have the new waterfall things. I want to have like the old engine plumes that used to be in the game that just like they've always been the same, and that's just the way they've been. So I'm quite happy they haven't got any waterfall configs. But anyway, so we're making a bit of an interesting gravity turn, and yeah, so making KSP looking pretty beautiful behind us. Like I said, I probably should have uninstalled a few of the graphical mods. I've got volumetric clouds, scatterer, Kerbin ring. I can't remember what the ring config I'm using for Kerbin. It's not one of the ones you can get in CCAN. I manually installed it, and of course we're using parallax too, and TUFX, but those can change all the time because it's terrible. Often my mind changes about, oh, do I want to go for better looking KSP or do I want to go for a better frame rate? Most of the time it's like, I want to go for better graphics, and I can still manage to get away with having a reasonable frame rate, like 15 FPS, but sometimes I just feel in the mood for not having 15 FPS game. So, anyway, also, I probably might mention, just to get this little bit of hype up, I've got a brand new mission I'm hoping to bring out soon. I've already done a few of the first parts of the mission. I'm still screen recording it, and this mission is going to be taking a stock space plane, no refueling, that's like at space stations I'm talking about. I don't mean like no mining, because it does require mining, but we're going to be planting a flag on every single moon in the stock game. Which is really cool. So far, I've only gotten from, let's see where I've gone. Of course, Kerbin, Minmus, Mun, and I've done Ike, and next spot is Juna. And the reason I really think that it's got to be a pretty good, well-designed SSTO, like, it's not just to go to, oh, I should call it an SSTA, but, I think it's actually a really well-designed one, too, because I've designed it so you can do, docking, and it's got a crew capacity of 6, so it can get the job done pretty well. And of course it's got a big mining rig and plenty of fuel in it, and I think, I haven't fully tested this yet, but I'm expecting that I should be able to get it off Tylo and Eve. I'm not sure for certain, but I'm pretty sure that it will have the power to get off Tylo and Eve, because in the Rapier stage, in Rapier closed cycle stage, it's got about 3,500 meters per second in it, and I think that should be enough to do a Tylo landing, refuel, take off again, and land at one of the other easy to land on moons in the Julian system. I'm not sure about Eve, but I'm really hoping that it will have enough, and once like that, after I've exhausted all of the oxidizer, I will still have over 2,000 meters per second in the nuclear stage. So I'm pretty sure that this mission will be able to be done. So hopefully that will be coming out sometime soon. But anyway, here we are approaching the Mun, getting ready for our deceleration burn. And yeah, I guess I'm not really touching on much about the lovely new parts, but honestly, I think they do the talking for me. I love the old decouplers. I like the way they have all that like warning tape on them, and the way the old command pod looks. I don't know why, I just really like it. I don't know why, I just like it. Along with the old Poodle engine, that's got to be another one I like. Not so much the lander can. I do think it looks cool, but the new one's better because you can make a rover out of it. And also, I've discovered something interesting. A few of the capsules in this mod are actually compatible with FreeIVA, which is a bit interesting. Anyway, since we're in a science save, we're going to be taking Jeb and Bob down with us. I didn't really get any science much science from this, but a little nonetheless. So yeah, I have unlocked the entire tech tree. So yeah, you can move around in IVA on here, and yeah, so we'll just time warp down to the ground, and yeah, so not too much more to talk about. We actually ended up landing near one of the breaking ground surface features. Not sure if you can see it. It's like one of those little crater things on the Mun, and yeah, so we'll just get Bob out. Which one did we get out first? I think we got Jeb out first. Yeah, Jeb. And yeah, we'll just get into plant our flag, get the thumbnail ready, or get the thumbnail shot. I haven't actually made the thumbnail shot yet, but it looks something like this, like with the other rocket in the background, and I'm sure you probably have seen it since you're probably clicked on the video. But yes, we'll just wait for this Kerbal or the sun to be in the right position for another lovely little screenshot. And yeah, so now we can get Jeb to, oh, I don't know what to press there. Oh, anyway. So now we get Bob out on EVA, and as you can see, they didn't exactly put his suit together very well, as it would seem. I think it's because I installed texture replacer, I think it is, the one that changes the way Kerbals look, and I think that messed up the suit because I haven't changed the suit since then, and I think it may have messed up the textures, and that's why it looks all in the wrong place. So oh well, at least the suit still keeps the air in, and Bob in. So yeah, we'll just get Jeb and Bob back into the lander, and Jeb nearly hits the solar panel, as Jeb is pretty clumsy, because he's a Kerbal. So now we'll just wait for the the mothership to be just above us, and we'll begin our gravity turn, though we don't really need to do much of a gravity turn, you just pull straight sideways. So yeah, we'll just get our apoapsis up to a point where we'll start intersecting the mothership, and we got it pretty close on the first try, but I decided I wanted to get it on the first try, like before the next sunrise. So yeah, we'll just get ourselves pointing around on the nav ball, and also yeah, so don't know what to say now, as I don't really have much to say, but yes, I probably should say the next mission that I was talking about, the SSTA, that's probably going to be a very long video, so I'm not certain whether I put a commentary over it. I'm imagining I will, because it's just better to do than using other people's music all the time. But I think I will probably do a commentary over it. So anyway, and also you can see here the plumes for the RCS are a little bit the wrong way around, which was a little bit odd, but I think I saw that about one of the bugs that they know about in their page about it. So anyway, just pumping the remainder of fuel from the lander into the mothership, and we will transfer all of our things here. And as you can see, that command pod here doesn't actually have an IVA, but we can kind of cheat it through from the other one, which does have IVA, so free IVA I should say. So oh well. And also, by the way, a few of the parts in here don't actually have the correct IVA view, so anyway, and here we are just going to deorbit the lower stage, and so it doesn't get stuck in space, and yeah, so now we'll just get ourselves ready to plan our way back to Kerbin. So just point prograde. I also made a little maneuver here. I was kind of curious to see how much fuel we'd have, because I thought we probably would have enough fuel to decelerate around Kerbin into an orbit, and we actually did. So we won't be exposing our Kerbals to an over amount of G-forces. And also, another thing I probably should have mentioned about this mod a little earlier on, I don't believe it changes, like, if the fuel or any sort of differences like that, for example, were different back then. I don't think they are, but if, for example, they were different back in the day when these parts were in, I'm pretty sure it'll hold the same fuel as they are then. Either that, or they'll stay the same as they are now. They're not going to put an unrealistic amount of fuel there, or extremely unrealistic amount of no fuel there. So yeah, so using these old parts is basically just a reskin of the other parts, kind of like having restocks parts, like restock, like changes the textures of all the stock parts, whereas this, like, just adds basically the same parts, just with different textures on them. So at least that's what I imagine, at least that's what, from what I know, it is. Of course, I could be very wrong, but I don't think I am. So anyway, now we're coming in for re-entry, and we'll probably start fading out to the next part of this mission. Yes, I thought, since we do have the oldest parts in the book, or the oldest parts in the game, I thought, well, I've seen quite a few videos of playing KSP in early access, So why not make the most popular rocket ever made back then? And here we are. And I probably could have done a bit of a better job by putting the gimbling engines on the bottom. I didn't put any gimbling engines, so it didn't exactly go entirely as planned. So yeah, we'll be tipping over very badly. So we'll have to use the next stage. This would have had enough fuel to get into orbit, but I couldn't really do that just because these lower engines have got no vectoring. A bit like the Reliant or this, I think it's Reliant. I think these actually used to be. I didn't actually look at the name of these, but I think that these are actually Reliant and Swivel. Oh, well, these ones are Swivels, but the previous ones were Reliants. I think. I may be wrong, but I actually think it might possibly be that. But as you can see, we're using the old command pod, the old engine, the old fuel tank, the old decoupler. Only thing that isn't old is the heat shield, struts, and parachute. And of course, Kerbal. Kerbals did look quite different back then. So yeah, we'll just try and. I was hoping to get myself in orbit with this stage, but I didn't have enough fuel, so oh well. Now, there's another little thing interesting about this command pod. For some reason, it doesn't have its own IVA view. I think it's possibly because back in the day when this was in the KSP, it didn't actually have a IVA. I'm not sure for certain, but I don't think it had an IVA, so they kind of had to use one that very much does not match the command pod. I think it's from that horribly textured part, the whole horribly textured command pod. I think it could be entirely wrong because I haven't definitely was not playing KSP in early access. Um, but here we are having splashdown, and another interesting thing about this command pod, it's very, very heavy, not very buoyant at all, so we can kind of come down to the surface and bounce around a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so thank you for watching this video. I think it was pretty interesting doing this mission, and yeah, so thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next Kerbal Space Program video. See ya!